At 4:30, the U.S. Attorney's Office is working to recover millions of dollars stolen from the city of Portland. We first brought you the story last month when the city of Portland reported that it was scammed out of $6.7 million. Now, the U.S. Attorney's Office has filed for a civil forfeiture to get the money back. The city said that the thief used doctored email addresses, a stolen identity, and a known knowledge of Portland's payment systems to impersonate an employee of one of Portland's main contractors. Using a fake email address, he reached out to the city, instructing them to change an account number for an upcoming payment. After a series of red flags and internal fraud alerts, an attempt was made to halt the deposit. The fraudster had directed the funds to a Chase bank account associated with a law firm in New York City, which claims that they were also victims of fraud. Since then, the FBI has found and seized the money. If the U.S. Attorney's Office is able to prove that the funds were part of the scam, the civil forfeiture would allow federal law enforcement to return the money to the city.